Hello and welcome to a postseason edition of the Drew Roff Show alongside Purdue soccer head coach Drew Roff and junior midfielder Grace Walsh. I'm the team's communications director, Charlie Healy. Grace, welcome to the show. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, definitely. Boilermakers are getting ready for the Big Ten regional weekend on Thursday against Northwestern. But first, Drew, looking back at Saturday night's scoreless draw against Indiana, what stood out to you about the team's performance?
Well, I think we had a game plan to follow, and I think the team did excellent job carrying it out. I also thought just the intensity and the desire to win the ball high on the field and get chances out of our pressure and just staying connected and just staying close together so we could help each other out defensively and also combine with each other when we had the ball. Just really good job. I thought our forwards started the pressure up high and did an excellent job forcing IU to get some longer balls that we were able to pick up. Center backs did a great job being aggressive, not allowing their forwards to hold the ball and connect passes, and just overall just a really solid performance without the ball and with the ball. As I told the team, I was extremely happy with just how we played and how we competed. Just wanted that goal, of course, that would have topped it off. I thought we really deserved that goal, but it didn't happen, and you just got to look at it and say it was a great performance, and that's the type of soccer we want to be playing this time of year.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's perfect. Especially heading into the postseason. But Grace, you have 4 days off in between matches. You played all 110 minutes on Saturday night. What's your key to recovery, especially coming off an overtime match, looking ahead to Thursday, the postseason starting?
Yeah, there are many resources available here. We have Wally with strength and conditioning. We have nutritionists. And also Kirsten, who focuses on our recovery. There are a few things I usually do after every game. I usually cold tub, or they call it contrast. So you cold tub for a few minutes and then do a hot tub for a few minutes. And then we also have these cool pants, Normatec pants that squeeze your legs really tight. But usually I try to do 2 days of recovery and then also just focus on sleep, eating well, and just time management with my schoolwork. Just getting in, doing those treatments, and just focusing on making my body feel better.
Awesome. Yeah, it's a lot goes into it aside from just on the pitch. So it's great that we have all those resources available to keep you guys in the best shape possible with a quick turnaround. But quick turnaround to Thursday, Purdue opens postseason play against Northwestern in Madison in the opening round of the Big Ten tournament. And the Boilermakers earned a 1-0 win over the Wildcats on March 13th here at Folk Field. Drew, as you prepare for Thursday's match, do you take much from that win over Northwestern, or are you focused more on the last couple matches when you're scouting?
Yeah, I really like to look at the game that we played with them just to see certain matchups and see how what worked well, what didn't work so well. So definitely nice to have some film from a recent match. But then also, yeah, like you said, look at the last couple matches that they've played, just because that's going to be the most similar look, I would say. They just played a recent game against Illinois last weekend, and it was a good competitive match. So you look at that and you just try to get a couple things that you feel that you can use. This time of year, most teams aren't looking to change up too much, so you want to look at a couple things that you can implement. But as I usually say, it's also mostly about what you do. So we'll make a couple adjustments based on how Northwestern plays. But at the same time, I think the principles that we work on and the things that we applied to our match against Indiana, if we can do those consistently, that's what we're focused on the most. But this time of the year, teams are familiar with each other, watching film. Even if you didn't play that particular team, you've probably seen them play while you're scouting another opponent there. So everybody's pretty familiar in the Big Ten. It just comes down to who's ready to play and who's ready to work for it on Thursday.
Yeah, definitely. And Grace, how about you as you look ahead to facing Northwestern for a second time? Obviously, the coaches will present you with the appropriate film and the tactical things to work on the field. But in the back of your mind, how much are you thinking about that match earlier in the year, or how much are you just focused on the next one and taking that out of your mind, the earlier game?
Yeah, I definitely am focusing on this next match, but I also think it'll feel a little nostalgic to be playing at Wisconsin again, because last year we had a great performance there and came up with that win against Wisconsin. So it is kind of easy to, look in the past and kind of see what we did then. But hopefully we can bring some of that energy from both the win against Wisconsin on their field last year and also that win against Wisconsin earlier this year. But it is a new game and a new opportunity to kind of replicate those winning feelings. But as the season has progressed, we have improved, we've adjusted some things, and I'm sure Northwestern and Wisconsin have as well. But it is important just to focus on this game. And as Drew mentioned, we'll look at some film, adjust whatever we need to. But I think we're just focusing on playing our game and, coming off this great performance against IU, we kind of want to replicate that.
Yeah, definitely. And Drew, let's talk a little bit about Grace. She came in as a defender, played her first 2 years on the back line before shifting to midfield this year. What do you like most about what she brings to the pitch and helps the team in a match?
Yeah, well, Grace, I mentioned it to the Big Ten broadcast team earlier this year. I think she's one of the most underrated players in the Big Ten. Grace's, demeanor, she's kind of calm and cool, and she plays that way. And if you know the game of soccer, you see the things that she does, and you know that they're special. Just how she plays quickly, she plays smart, she reads the game defensively at a better level than most. She's just that two-way player that can defend and attack, and that's why she plays the 6 role, which is a huge role for us. But as I said, she's not going to be extra flashy or taking players on, and sometimes, like I said, some people that don't really know the game too well may watch us play and not really notice her. But those that that understand soccer and understand how important that player is, that can set the tempo, that can create dangerous opportunities just by playing quickly and not hanging onto the ball and things of that nature. Those are the simple things that aren't so simple that Grace does consistently. So I think she's one of the best players in the conference, and I think she's gotten better every year. And I was joking with our assistants the other day, is just how we want to keep pushing Grace up, because she can also play that final ball as a 6, and sometimes I look at her maybe playing the 8, and I joke that maybe by the time she's done, she'll be our center forward. I don't know. We keep pushing her up and up, but there's not a lot of players that can play that many roles. But Grace could play wing back, she could play center back, she could play the 6, the 8. So just a very talented player that I think is having an outstanding season. And I think her teammates and her coaches appreciate what she does. At such a high level, and maybe hasn't gotten that recognition that she deserves. But I think that'll come with time as she continues to put together these strong performances. And Grace is just one of our top players, and just a really smart, talented soccer player. And the edge that she's played with lately, I think, has taken her game to another level. She's always been a tough player, but I think now she's dealing with that physicality extremely well. And I said, there's not a lot of players who can get in on a hard tackle, then also circulate the ball, play the final ball, create some chances in the final third. So to have a player of that type of skill set, that diverse of a skill set in the middle of the park is definitely a game changer for us. So really, really impressed with her development in the last few years. And she's just a fun person to coach, because you never have to worry about her preparation. You never have to worry about her effort. and she's a low maintenance person off the field. She's just does the right things and has a great personality. But on the field, she she really shows her personality and shows what she's capable of. So just been an awesome player and a huge part of our program since she's been here.
Yeah, definitely. And talking a little bit about that transition, as we said, you started on the back line your first 2 years, and now you're playing in the midfield. What was that transition like, Grace, this year? I suppose you had a little more time to transition with the fall, but what's that been like for you as a player on the field?
Yeah, I think it has actually been a relatively smooth transition. I do have some experience playing midfield throughout high school, but never at the Big Ten level. But as you mentioned, the fall gave me the opportunity to develop, work on my positioning, work on some skills needed in the midfield. But I also watch quite a bit of soccer, so I look up to players like Julie Ertz. So I try to kind of watch what they do and learn from them. But I think most importantly, my teammates played a huge role in kind of making that transition smooth. I know that I'll always have, 5 people in front of me and 5 people in back of me that have my back and who will be supportive. So that kind of gave me the confidence in this new role.
Awesome. And when it comes to Drew touched on it a little bit, but your attitude on the pitch and your overall work ethic, not only playing but off the field, you always have a smile on your face. You're always there to back up your teammates. Always very cheerful, and that's to me that's what stands out about what you bring to the table. Where did that come from? Do you remember, or is that just something you've always had?
I think maybe part of it I've always kind of had. But I think this past year, we were kind of all given the opportunity to step back and reflect about kind of why we play soccer, what motivates us, because it was a pretty tough year and we weren't playing any games. So we kind of all needed to figure that out. But soccer is a very difficult sport, both mentally and physically. But it's also a team sport, and there's always going to be 25 plus people there, like around you, going through a similar situation. So you're never going to be the only one, with a cut or a bruise, or you're never going to be the only one who's tired on the field. So I think when I think about what makes me work hard and have a good work ethic, I think about those connections that I've made with my teammates, both through like the ups and the downs, the happy moments after winning a game and the frustrating moments after losing a game. But yeah, I've definitely focused on connections with my teammates and trusting that they're always going to be putting in that work as well.
You talked a little bit about reflecting in the last year without sports. What else were you was that sort of what you focused on, or were you able to reflect on a little more in that time off, which started a little more than a year ago now?
Yeah, I definitely picked up a few books here and there. So I was able to kind of learn some things from those books. What else did I do? I didn't pick up any new skills. I know a lot of people had, those quarantine skills or like learning the piano or something. But I think I just took the time to kind of, rest my body, think about academics as well as soccer. And also I tried to focus some energy into continuing to form connections with my friends and teammates, because it was difficult to keep in contact with some of them. But yeah, I think it was definitely a learning and growing period for so many of us.
Definitely. And Drew, we'll ask you as well as you look back on the last year. I don't think you picked up the piano as well, but anything stood out, what either reflecting, or I know you spent a lot of time obviously here at home with your family, but anything stood out from that time period?
Well, I think it, just try to take a little time to take a step back, because, life can get so hectic sometimes. Got two awesome little kids at home, and, got a chance to watch them grow a little more up close than maybe when I'm, running around. Recruiting was, basically no go for about a year. Couldn't travel, couldn't recruit, and that's a lot of my time spent away from the family. So, I actually try to look at the bright side of all the challenges that there were, and there were so many, but try to find some positives and just more time. And like you said, Grace mentioned just forming connections, with people that, maybe had a little more time to focus on that. And then just, you appreciate the opportunities that we have to like get the team together and play. It's something you kind of take for granted when you've been playing this game and coaching this game pretty much as long as I can remember. I've had a soccer game to go to as a player or a coach, for 30, 40, whatever years, a long time. So to go that long without, kind of doing those things that you love the team being together and having a good practice or a good game, or just, making those connections, and all of a sudden just be without that, and have that all up in the air for a while. It just makes you appreciate, the moments that you have. And so I think, just more grateful maybe, and just more in the moment is where I try to be a little bit more now after the year that we went through. And, the season's been really enjoyable. We weren't sure what to expect. Didn't know if there'd be cancellations with weather and COVID and all the things going on. But although it does feel a little bit different than the fall season, I think we found a lot of joy in, playing good soccer and connecting with each other more. So it's been a real enjoyable season. And I said this past year was very hard, but there was some things that we took from it, and I think there was some positives. But looking forward to having a more normal fall, and just getting back to things. But yeah, definitely time to reflect and appreciate these great opportunities that we have to work with such an awesome group of people every day.
Yeah, definitely a lot of time to look back and reflect and remember how great it is for what we have. And that next opportunity will be Thursday against Northwestern in Madison. The winner of the Big Ten Regional Weekend Opener will face the West top seed Wisconsin on Sunday. So Drew and Grace, thanks for joining us. Appreciate the time today, and be sure to follow us along at Purdue Soccer on social media for all the latest on the Boilermakers. So thanks for joining us today, and Boiler up.